Okay, so now we are here. We got the new setup on the gun vise, and what we are going to do actually is that we got the Warns 20 MOA fixed base, one piece base, and we're gonna put it into the new platform, and I'm gonna show a few tips on what to do, and let's tighten it up and mount the scope. I already know a little bit what my eye box is on the scope, so this is not like that delicate of an information. So what I'm just gonna do is I push it back, then I push it forward, so every time when the gun recoils that way it doesn't change the position on the scope, so we have always the same place where it returns. So just kinda tighten these ones up first, and we got our little gunsmithing tool here. So I know that this isn't necessarily the best torque wrench, but it'll do. It's been doing pretty well, I would say. So let's first put 35 inch-pounds. You can see it increasing there. So I will put it first to 35, and we're just gonna tighten it up, and then we're gonna torque it up to spec. So got 30 inch-pounds now, and what I'll do is I'll just torque these fast, couple of clicks, clickety clackety, it's done. And then what it says here is dual half-inch tactical nut attachment is 65 inch-pound of torque. Recommended. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna increase it. 60. So I just go all the way up 60. Pretty close now. 65. So I would say we are pretty close now, 60. Huh? So a little bit of dirt there. So 60 inch-pounds. We're gonna tighten it up. Click, click, clickety clackety. It's done. So there you go. Now we got the base mounted, and these are loose, so I can adjust the eye box. So let's hop on and get the scope out from my other gun. Okay, so now we got the scope taken out from the other gun that I had, and let's just mount it on here. So we already knew around the area where it needs to be, and the next thing that we are going to do is we're gonna open up the top little screws here that are holding the top base, top part of the scope, and yeah, they're gonna fit the new old scope just on the new base, and check that the armor is nice and everything, and then we're just gonna tuck it down. So it's basically what we're gonna do. And I have to say that I was very positively surprised how fast I got this. I was thinking that I was like, wait for half a year or something like that, but I think it was only 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, like for me to get from inside guns. Not that bad at all. So yeah. And remember to check that there's no debris or anything like that either on the scope bases or the actual scope. And yeah, then you can just set it down here. And it seems that my side bubble level is interfering a little bit on this, and what we are going to do, because this is a totally new installation that I'm doing, I'm gonna check that the gun is level. after checking that the gun is level, we are going to check that the scope is level. So let's do a little bit of a look. You can see that I have the bubble level there. Checking that it's all level. And of course we already put the gun on safe, and it's not cocked or anything, so it's safe to work with. So, you know, just one thing to keep in mind, don't mess around with that at all. Don't mess around with it at all, and then we can, oh, you shouldn't be doing that. Double check that everything is level. So that's relatively level now. And what we're gonna do actually is that we're gonna double check that everything is still up to snuff with a special trick that I wanna show you all. So we got everything pretty much down now. I think we're ready for actually getting it. Now starting to talk it down. So there you go. And how I usually want to do this is that I go from, it's like a star pattern. So first I'll just make sure that they start threading, and then after I get them all starting to thread, I'll just do a little bit of a snugging, and after that I'm gonna start tightening them up properly. So not mess around the scope too much when you're doing this, because you'll just get troubles with it. Okay, so now we got the first ring. You know, it's not tight or anything, it's just snugged. You know, where you can feel more the scope, so we're gonna check the light box next. Oh, I think that's too much. So it's nice to tighten up on the evening. So I think Jackie says should be tightened even on both sides. Okay. Now we still should be able to move it, so next on the menu. Oop. And let's do a little bit of a basically now as close as we can get, so it's starting to be really close now on where you adjust the magnification. So I don't want to push it too much really, so let's just leave it at that for the time being, and I think that should be good to go. So now we got the scope mounted up. We have a nice, you know, eye box on it, and the last thing we're gonna check is that is the scope level with its crosshairs. And here's like a really nice tip for you guys to check it. So what I have done is that I set a plumb bob here on the wall. Gravity doesn't lie, so here it is, you know, it can move and everything. So we got that one there. We're gonna take advantage of gravity, and you need a flashlight. This is the nitty-gritty stuff now, so let's actually put this one here, and I'll show you how to do it. So let's turn down the lights. It's all black now. And here's the flashlight. We're gonna take it to the scope and light it up there and align it with the bobber. So here you can see it's a little bit off. It's a little bit off, so what we are going to do is we're gonna adjust it just the slightest bit, and we should be good now, I hope. And let's put on the lights again. And what we can actually see from this test was the following. I haven't touched the scope at all, except what I did now. So there. It's a little bit off. It's a little bit off, so it's on the other corner now, the bubble level. And I had set up this side bubble level according to what I saw with the bobber. And there you can see that even though the top should be level, it doesn't necessarily correlate into the actual scope. So next on the menu, what we're gonna do is we're gonna tighten everything up, double check that everything is still okay, and then we should be able to go to the range. And what we are going to do now is we're gonna start tightening things up in a cross pattern, little by little, evenly distributing the force. And I'll have to double check what the inch-pound rate on these top screws are, because it's different. Of course it's not gonna be 60 inch-pounds. Okay, so I checked now what the top T25 inch-pound rate is, and it's 25. So here you have it, 25. And we're just gonna go diagonally and tighten them up. So little by little, we're gonna start tightening them up. It should be a pretty easy work to do it, but not by too much. And here we can see we already got it on one of them and on the other side. Okay, so just making sure everything is tight and good to go. So now we can just wrap it up, so to say, and go to the range. So everything is done. Nice.